Well, good morning. I believe this is now the morning of day 7, and a little bit easier this morning for a change. Instead of all the hard get up, go early, ride hard for 10 hours or whatever like that. This morning I only have a 132-kilometer run. It's ferry day, and it's just important that I get there early, as I was saying before. And they sent an email saying they want even earlier than usual. So I've checked it out, and it's like less than 2 hours on the highway. Even if I take it easy and take a break, probably going to be, you know, I'm giving myself like 3 hours, and even with that I'm still going to be pretty early. So I'll probably be hanging around North Sydney if all goes well. So that's the plan. So I got to take it a little easier this morning. I didn't have to set an alarm. Still woke up at 7:30 anyway. Even though I'm getting a little more rested, maybe it's because I've stopped and relaxed here. I'm at the Cove Inn in Frankville, which is just outside of Port Hawkesbury in Nova Scotia. Feeling a little more discombobulated this morning, maybe just because I finally slept for a change. I don't know, but I'm getting some coffee into me, getting active, getting moving around, and then I'm gonna get on my way. But like I say, I don't have to hurry. I'm going to be early anyway. But yeah, nice little cottage. It looks pretty nice. It's warm this morning. It's not raining. It's cloudy, and the winds pick up here and there. But hopefully that'll be okay. And I'll have a little more time to check the bike over too. So let's start working on packing up, making sure I have everything in the travel bag so that I can get on the boat. And it's going to be 19 hours where I can't get to the bike, so I got to make sure I've got what I need in that bag that I take with me. So I'm going to work on that. So after 7 straight days and almost 2,000 kilometers of highway travel, I just wanted to see how my stock tires are doing. They weren't new when I put them on, but they seem okay. There still seems to be some tread. There's no flattening on the sides or the middle on this one. The pressure seems to be holding it up. I did top it up a bit before the 12-volt adapter blew on me. Well, I guess the fuse blew for it or something, so I couldn't top up the back. So the back is maybe 2 pounds lower than factory specs for this amount of weight, but it's at about 38 pounds. Best I can do until I can find a pump somewhere. It's just starting to flatten a little in the middle now, but not bad. It hasn't flattened on the sides. There's still quite a bit of tread left on it, so we'll keep an eye on it. So I got going, and I was going across these beautiful fjords and this nice mountain and everything in Port Hawkesbury. It was very cool, and of course the camera wouldn't turn on. So I figured out why. I just had to find a place to pull over. And I forgot that you could put a full battery in your camera, and if you put it back on your helmet and plug in the microphone and then just let it sit overnight, it'll drain the battery. So it was nice and full last night and all ready to go. Everything was all set, and then I left this morning and dead battery. So anyway, it was a little more of a rigmarole to get another battery out, because I packed a little differently this morning, as I was saying before, because everything I need for the 19-hour journey on this ferry is going to be in the one bag that I'm going to carry on. Because once you leave your bike down below, you're not allowed to go back down there again. That's it. You can't access anything on your bike. So I've pretty much got everything. I've got my phone chargers, I'm going to bring my batteries, cameras, and my clothes and all that stuff that's in my waterproof bag here, and hopefully that will do me. The only thing I won't have on me is any food or drink, so I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard, I've never been on this ferry, but I would assume there is restaurants and probably a little convenience store. I could buy pop, chips, water, and food to get me through the journey. And I can just wander about and film and just enjoy the ride, enjoy a little bit of a break from riding, just to kind of level out again. That will be all good. So I didn't set up the beeline today. Just about hit a little squirrel there. Because I just wanted a direct route to the ferry so that I could be on time or even early. And they're saying it's quite busy, and if you're not really early, you could basically get screwed out of your ride. So I'm going to make sure I'm there good and early. But I'd still take it the scenic route. Now, this is Highway 4, which goes from Port Hawkesbury into Sydney, North Sydney in particular. And, you know, it needs a little work, but it's rideable. And it's certainly a lot nicer road for biking than taking the big highway. And I'm not in that much of a hurry, because even taking my time, I was out of there. It still says I'm going to be there by like noon, and the boat leaves at 5:30. So they wanted me there. Originally they said be there 2 hours early, so I was planning to be there for 3:30. And then it was another email, oh, you better be there, you know, between 12 and 3:30. So I'm like, wow, you want me there 4 or 5 hours early to ensure a place on the boat. So I set up the Garmin just to go direct. I'm not worried about fancy scenic routes, but the Garmin still is set on adventurous routing, so it will try to avoid the highways. It doesn't always avoid the highways, but it will when it can, and so it chose Highway 4 as well. And this is so much better than the big Trans-Canada with the trucks blaring and everyone wanting to go 500 miles an hour and all that kind of stuff. So this is a pretty nice ride, and I have plenty of time. And it still says I'm going to be there by noon, so even if I stop, I'm probably going to stop halfway. I did have a bit of a breakfast. I had some oatmeal, some of that dehydrated oatmeal. Had a couple packs of that. It's not my favorite, but it'll do in a pinch. So I made that up, and now we're rolling. So this route to get to North Sydney is called the Fleur de Lis Trail. Now the choppy pavement seems to have gone away, and now we're into some nice smooth stuff. So it looks like they did some work on it. Looks like maybe last year's work. It's pretty smooth, but nicely dried out, so it's not slippery for the bike. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. There's hardly any traffic because there's a big sign when everybody crosses a fjord there in Port Hawkesbury to all the ferry traffic, all the Newfoundland Ferry traffic. Use highway, the big highway. And so nobody goes on this highway, which pretty much parallels it, but it's a nice scenic, easy pace. So it's kind of cool that I can take this and everyone else takes the other highway. So I guess I figured out the problem with the sunglasses hurting my nose on these long rides, and I just cleaned up my visor really well. It's a tinted visor, and I'm wearing no glasses and just the visor down. Now normally I don't like to do that because it just feels like I'm getting no air in here, or it fogs up, or it gives me other issues, but on these longer rides out here it doesn't seem to be causing any issue. I'm still getting plenty of ventilation inside. It's not fogging up, and I'm seeing quite well, and I don't have to worry about the glare because it is tinted. So it's working out. I could work with this. I usually wear the sunglasses with the visor up, but in this case this is working okay. Standing riding in the middle of Nova Scotia, riding the back highways, heading to the great land of North Sydney. Off we go to the wild blue yonder. I heard but I've got Caesar. I've ridden the Chi-Chiman quite a few times, and it's one of my favorite motorcycling experiences. And that's the ferry that goes from Tobermory across the South Bay mouth on Manitoulin Island. It's probably literally half the size of the boat I'm going to be going on, so this will be the same but bigger, and a lot longer ride. The Chi-Chi-Min is a 90-minute ride. This one is 19 hours to get to the far end of Newfoundland. The Anguinish or Anti something, starts with an A. And that's where I'll be getting off. And when I'm getting off, it'll be in the morning that I'm dropped off. So I will have had my sleep. So once I get off the boat, I could just ride for the day. So that's going to be cool. And I'm just going to tour all around the south of Newfoundland right off the bat. And see how that goes. Hopefully I don't hit any moose. And then I'll make my way to my lodging for that night, which is all booked and ready to go. Hopefully I didn't miscalculate or anything, because boy, that would be a screwer. Anyway, nice ride. Weather's been good. It's, you know, windy, but not blow you off the road windy like it was yesterday. That's one advantage to having all this extra weight on the bike. It's difficult to maneuver, and you've seen how difficult I've had a time making turns, like sharp turns, and heaven forbid I have to do a friggin' U-ey on a road like this. And I've done it a few times now, and it's not pretty. At least I didn't drop the bike, and that's the main thing. I'd rather look silly paddle walking my way around a U-turn than to be dropping the bike in the middle of the road. It looks like it wants me to get back on the highway now. I'm not sure why, but I better follow it or I'll get my ass lost. I'm pretty sure 4 went right there, but alright, we won't screw around. That's the problem with the Garmin. The other problem with the Garmin is you can't see the damn thing. They didn't make it bright enough. I really have to go close and squint to see it, even when it's dark and cloudy out. I could see the screen on the Africa Twin beautifully. I wish it was like that. And yes, there is the Apple AutoPlay and all that shit that you could hook up, and you can have like Google Maps up there. The Google Maps is sometimes hard to follow. And to be honest, I just haven't taken the time to sit down and figure all that out. I think I have the update for Android on here now, but I've just never sat down and tried to get that all working and try out. I probably should one of these days just to see if I can do it, but yeah, you need phone apps and everything else. So I was on it for like 2 minutes, and then now they're saying the 104 ends. I have a feeling if I just went straight, I would have ended up in the same spot. But that's the way these friggin' GPSs are. I bet you I would have popped out right here. Oh well, when you're in an area you're not familiar with, you don't know the roads, you gotta take what you can get.